Hi everybody, it's Catherine. Happy Friday. My project today again is with the Humble Home bundle. This is going to be coming, the punch is going to be coming back in sometime in October, I believe, October 24th. And I'm also using the Spotlight on Nature dies, the week of October 24th. Now the peppermints have moved from the week of October 14th to the week of October 24th. So hopefully they will be coming in soon. All right, so my box measures 2.5 by 2.5 by 3/4. You can get this out of 1/2 sheet of cardstock. And I really wanted to get the Peppermint GHIRARDELLI, but nobody has them yet. They only have the mint. So it will fit 2, but you could get, oops, you could get away with just 1 if you wanted to make them for your whole office. But this is a cute little box. You could probably put a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, a York Peppermint Patty, things like that. But 2 of the GHIRARDELLIs will fit. What we need for this project is, this is my host code. Please put that in for any purchases under $150, not including your shipping and tax. And also please subscribe and hit the like button. So we need a piece of real red that is 8 by 5.5. So you're going to cut your cardstock in half and then cut the length, the width here down to 8. We need some basic white for stamping. I cut this from the Spotlight on Nature dies out of the basic white, and it is 2.25 inches. And then from the Take a Bow DSP, I got all of this plus part of my second box out of 1 sheet of this 6x6 paper. So we need 2 pieces that are 2.25 by 2.25, 2 that are 1.25 by 2.25, and 4 that are 1/2 by 2.25. All right, let me get my Simply Scored. I hope you liked my series on the Humble Home bundle. So well, this is it for now, and then I'll go back and revisit it closer to Christmas again. All right, so we're going to start on the 8-inch side. Score at 1.5, 2.25, 4 3/4, and 5.5. Turn it to the 5.5-inch side and score at 3/4, 1.5, 4, and 4 3/4. All right, now fold and burnish your score lines. Okay, we're going to start with, now there's 2 3/4-inch strips on the top and the bottom, but this here is 1/2, and over here is the 2.5. All right, and this is what we're going to be doing. So we're going to take off these rectangle corners and then work on the inside is what it basically is. All right, so we'll start over here, go to the first score line, cut it to the second score line, and take those 2 rectangles off. Go to the next score line, cut it to the second score line, take off the bottom square, and wedge the one that's on the top. Go to the next 2 score lines and cut it to the second score line. Take off the bottom square and wedge both sides of the one that's left there. Now we're going to take these 2 rectangles off. Okay, now turn it to the other side, so your 1.5-inch strip is over here. Go to the first score line, cut it to the second score line, and take these 2 rectangles off. Go to the next score line, cut it to the second score line, take off the bottom square, and wedge this top one. go to the next 2 score lines and cut them to the second score line, sorry. Take off the square on the bottom and wedge the top one. And then we're just going to take these 2 rectangles off. All right. Now this is how we started, and we're going to round the corners of these side pieces. All right, and that's what your cardstock should look like when you're done. Okay, I'm going to use Stampin Seal Plus, and I'm going to put it on each of these small little tabs. You can use liquid glue or tear and tape also, just not Stampin Seal. You need the plus for the cardstock. All right, and we're going to take all 4 tabs and we're going to connect them to the rectangle that's right next to it, and make sure that the top line is straight with the side of the rectangle. And then switch to the other side of that same rectangle, and attach these tabs. And that is your box. I'm putting the long flap on this side here. All right, so now we need our DSP. These biggest pieces are going on the back and the front of the large flap. The small ones, the back and the front of the small flap. And then these 4 are on the bottom all around the sides. Okay, and there is our box. All right, so now let's do our stamping. We need our piece of basic white, and we're going to be doing the bricks this time. And my crumb cake, I inked it up too much. It usually happens when I ink up things. So I'm going to use some scrap paper, and I'm going to stamp it off once, but you don't have to. If yours is doing, if your ink pad is good, you can just leave it. Mine fills in a lot of the lines. All right, now I'm going to cut that with my Humble Home Builder punch, and I'm going to put it where the bottom of the house belongs. Okay. And then I'm going to use my scrap again just in case. And Real Red ink. And we're going to do the roof. But you could totally do the gingerbread house again with the embossing. And I'm going to stamp the roof right on there. Okay. So that's that piece. And then we need Tuxedo Black ink, and we're going to rob the windows and the door from this gingerbread house looking one. Oops, this is not scrap. All right, and I'm going to fussy cut the windows and the door out. Now we have our pieces, and I forgot to say you could definitely fit the chocolate balls in here, you know, the foil balls, if you wanted to, not do a Ghirardelli. All right, so I'm using 2 of the Stampin Blends, Light Pool Party and Dark Real Red. So I'm going to go over the door with Dark Real Red twice. And then the window sashes I'm going to do with the Dark Real Red. And then the window panes with Light Pool Party. now I'm going to get just liquid glue and we're going to put the door and the windows on. Okay, now we're going to get our white circle and I'm going to attach the house to it with dimensionals. Alright, I don't have two more GHIRARDELLI, so I'm just going to put some shred in there. Alright, and I'm going to get some iridescent striped ribbon, and remember the small flap on the top, and I'm going to tie a bow around the middle of the box and tie ribbon around the middle of the box and make a bow on the right. Now you could also close this with a Velcro dot if you want to instead, and just put a little bow somewhere else. Now we're going to put, I'm going to put dimensionals down on the edges of the ribbon to just make sure that the ribbon is nicely secure. And then maybe another set right next to it so that we have a good grip on our circle. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. All right, and then just get your bow out of the way for a minute and attach this top right in the middle here. Good. Okay, and now for the final touches, I'm going to use some real red cardstock and cut out a heart. And I'm going to put this right at the peak. All right. And then I'm going to add some Wink of Stella glitter to the heart. You could add it to the door and the windows too if you want. Make them look frosty. I think I'll do that. And for the final touch, I'm going to take a peppermint and put it on the door. And this time I'm going to use a medium one. Oops, it's still wet a little. There we go. And that's it. I hope you loved it. All my information is below, including my blog, which has all of the directions written out, and my Facebook group, and my Stampin' Up shop. All right, have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.